Well, hi everyone, and it is day 17 of Savvy Sexy Social Vlog every day in August. And tonight, what I thought I would do is give you a business tarot reading. So part of the tarot is also my psychic ability, and if you wanted to find out what does a business reading look like with me, tonight's the night you're going to find out. Hi everyone, I'm Alex, and this is Tea and Transformation. All right then, so what I've got tonight is 3 cards, and what I'm looking at is what do you need to focus on, and what are the new opportunities that exist for you. Now, strangely, I got 2 cards that are very similar in the way that they are interpreted, and they're kind of like 6 degrees of separation. So the first card is the Six of Swords. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about this one, and I'm going to talk about it in conjunction with this card, which was the Three of Swords, but it was reversed. Sorry. There we go. So it's reversed. And swords typically have to do with contracts, government, licensing, regulations, taxes, all that sort of illegal, contracty kind of things that we need to do in our business. And I'm just going to show you the third card because this does come in at the end of it. And it is the Three of Pentacles. And Pentacles are all about money. So, well, generally they're all about money. They're about money and mastery and all kinds of interesting things that way. But anyways, so the Six of Swords, first of all, is a journey. It can be sort of a metaphysical journey. It can be a business journey. For some people, it does mean a physical journey from point A to point B. And oftentimes, if that's the case, it's going to indicate a journey over water. But here, in the context of this reading with the next card, which is about opportunities, what's showing up here is that there is, if you haven't gotten all of your legal, licensing, tax ducks all lined up in a row, now is the time to do it. Both of these cards indicate very strongly that if you've been putting off any of that stuff, like you didn't get your business license fully filled out, you've been sort of toying with an online business, but you haven't decided to file for a business license, or you haven't decided how your taxes are going to work and you haven't been paying taxes on your income, any of those activities that you've been putting off, you really need to kind of get on the stick about. So you want to get all your ducks in a row, and as well, if you don't get on these things, there's going to be some difficulties within the next month around it. But if you can get on top of all these regulatory needs that have to be looked after, then you're going to alleviate that situation. You're going to avoid it. So that's what I'm getting right now. I also see that for some of you, that is going to mean that you need to talk to the tax man. You need to get yourself some tax advice. You may even need to get some legal advice. But it is necessary, and I think that somebody else is going to be involved in helping sort through all of these regulatory situations. So you really want to get on top of that. Now, these difficulties, they're not things that are really, really difficult to do. They're just things that need to be done, and they can be tedious, and they seem to take away a lot from the actual doingness of the business, i.e. marketing and selling your products or services. Now, the Three of Swords reversed is towards the middle to the end of September. The adverse effects of this time, like with the Six of Swords and the Three of Swords reversed, are going to lighten up a little bit. So they will subside. And out of that, what's going to happen is that you're going to have mastered some new skills in terms of maybe being able to speak government, finding out how to navigate your way through all of these regulatory issues, but they really are kind of the foundation to be able to perform or do your business with all your legal T's crossed and I's dotted. Um, and if you can do that, now the thing that's really interesting is the Three of Pentacles is a card that very specifically speaks to an upswing in work and finances. So I'm going to take the work issue here as part of the work around our businesses. And what I'm seeing is that if all of these things can be taken care of before the middle of September-ish, maybe a little longer, that it's going to be a very profitable fourth quarter, that it is definitely going to be looking up. And so you want to make sure that everything is taken care of. And in between now and the middle of September, towards the end of September, is the time to get all your ducks lined up. In addition to all the regulatory things, we have the things like your blogs, your marketing, your sales funnels, courses. If you're going to be doing a course, get that course material organized, figure out what your call to action is, what it is that you're going to do in order to gather up those email addresses if you intend on using that technology. But you really want to get that all lined up at the same time that you're dealing with these sort of tax, legal, regulatory issues, because once those issues are dealt with, it clears the way to release that energy for all of the work that you've been doing around making sure that your fourth quarter is very successful. And also the results around that are going to happen very quickly. Three of Pentacles is a card that says this is going to move quickly. And so I would expect, do your homework, get everything organized, and get ready to set out and send out those new marketing plans. Any new investments, new opportunities that are coming up will also be much more fruitful if you engage in them towards the end of September. Now, I do want to talk about the solar eclipse because it is coming on Monday. And it's a solar eclipse in Leo, so we're going to be talking about the heart of the lion, or the heart of a lion. So it's also happening in a new moon. So what we have is the solar eclipse is the moon passing in front of the sun, and it means that as it moves away from the sun, that there is going to be release of old beliefs. It is a really good time to examine all those belief structures that I've talked about in the last week or so, and taking a look at and examining what works for you and what doesn't, and to really examine what you believe in terms of how the marketplace is changing, how we have millennials and Generation Z and Generation X and Generation Y all coming together to really radically change the way in which we do business. And it's incumbent upon us as business owners to be aware of that changing marketplace and to ride the crest of it. I don't want to say take advantage of it because that sounds a little too old school for me. Certainly not, well, it doesn't kind of fit in with my view of what a triple bottom line company is, but surfing the wave as it moves forward, using this changing time as momentum to compel us forward in our business, I think is a good way of looking at it. And it certainly does speak to how the energy is moving. And the other thing is that a new moon is also a really good time to bring into place anything that you've kind of been contemplating but you haven't written down, you haven't put it into your business plan, you haven't really kind of solidified it. With the solstice coming and the new moon coming, it would be a good time to get those things written down in order to put that into action. So the whole thing about the next 4 weeks is preparing to launch. So if you're going to be relaunching, you have new courses you're launching, you have new products that you're launching, take this next month to navigate all the regulations around that, set up all your necessary funnels, blogs, marketing, whatever it is that you're doing, so that come the middle of September, that you'll be able to release that energy and it will shoot forward very, very quickly. And I think that the fourth quarter is going to be very successful. So that's what a business reading looks like. It's very general. As I work with an individual business and the relationship builds, that context becomes clearer. The reading becomes much more on point and much more specific. And of course, remembering I am not a banker, I am not an investment counselor, I am not a doctor, and I am not a lawyer. What I do is tell you what I see in terms of the energy and which way it's going, if it's positive, if it's not positive, if it's time to stop and take a pause, if it's time to move forward. So that's it for tonight. Please subscribe. Share this if you think that there's any other business people that might be interested in taking a different kind of a look at where they're going with their business and their business planning. Please like the video. And of course, please comment. I guess sort of my concern is that the Veda community is kind of like, oh yeah, it's just a tarot reader. And, I need some reassuring that my business is flourishing. It's not the same as telling people how to do SEO keyword searches for your YouTube channel, or how to market your service or product. It's a very different kind of way of looking at business, but I also think in the long run, it's as equally valid as any other metric that you're going to use to measure the success of your business. Okay, so that having been said, again, please subscribe, like the video, share if you can. Please leave a comment. Love the comments. And this is Alex, or I should say, I'm Alex, and this is Tea and Transformation, and we'll see you tomorrow.